Good morning, viewers. Welcome to Global Entertainment News Breakfast Show, your daily dose of news and updates. I am your host, Bella, and joining me on the studio today are
Usola.
we are taking today's top story from Punch and Vanguard newspaper. And today's top story from Punch is Nigerian public debt hit 142 trillion naira as borrowing rises. The Nigerian total public debt rose to 142.3 trillion as of September 30th, 2024, representing an increase of 5.79%, that is 8.2 trillion naira compared to 134.3 trillion in June 2024. The debt comparison, external and domestic obligation reflected the significant impact of exchange rate depreciation of external borrowing when converted to naira terms.
That's 42.3 trillion naira debt.
It keep rising. That is my own thoughts.
It's representing 5.97%.
Yes.
Wow, that's too
It,
much.
it, it, it keep rising. That 5.92% is actually of last year September, and
We
this
don't know how this
we don't even
in
know the percent,
particular
but
this month.
let me just estimate it into the fact that the amount that we are talking about now is not just in naira but
It's
in
in trillion.
trillions. And then we are looking at it as if that okay, are they still borrowing? Are they still going to be borrowing more, or they are going to pay out this outstanding debt because it's already enough to actually put Nigeria in a total slavery to the opposite country, like the World Bank that we are borrowing from, because it's on that range that we are going to be on a slavery to those foreign countries that we are borrowing from.
Well, 142 trillion naira is actually very big. It's a very big amount for Nigeria to say, okay, but the fact that we keep borrowing money and borrowing and borrowing and borrowing, I keep saying this money we are borrowing, do we have any means of paying them back?
I don't know.
Because if we keep borrowing and borrowing, and these people after they use this their office, president office to borrow all these loans, if they leave that office,
The present one will be suffering.
the future ones will be the ones to suffer all these things. That's what the government still don't understand till now. The money we are borrowing, we are not even seeing the impact in the nation at all.
No.
If you are borrowing all this money and you are actually putting them in one particular place, we know that okay, is it the health sector you are putting the money in? Is it the security? Is it
The
education?
education.
We don't know where this money is actually going to. We still have the same. The country is still the same way it is.
It's not even the
Electricity the
same.
same
It
thing,
has gone down more than the way it used to
and we
be.
keep borrowing this money too.
And
It's as if this money is being borrowed and being pocketed by some particular people. I don't really understand.
If at all the money we are borrowing, we are actually using to do good things, we are investing in it, then the one we are seeing back, we used to pay the but no, they are not doing anything with the money, but every day we hear God, we just sleep, wake up, the next thing, government has borrowed this so amount of money, not even in naira, dollar. When they
it's
borrow, they don't borrow in naira, they borrow in dollars.
it's a foreign country, so they don't deal with naira. So they deal. So when it's converted into
The money
our
is
own
much.
Nigeria, the naira, it's become huge. That is just the things that we are talking about here, because
Now, what is the means? How will they pay the money back?
that is the concerns, because this is something that we needed to ask the government about. We need to start holding our government accountable for whatever reason. We can't keep on adjusting to whatever, because very soon now, if those people are saying that they are not going to look at the debt or whatsoever, there is going to be another way that needs to be paid for it. We need to start holding our government accountable for whatever misleading that they wanted to make. We need to hold them, because we can't just pretend that everything is okay when it's not. It's definitely not okay here in Nigeria. Moving on, rural areas suffer blackout despite 14 billion naira power spending. Despite spending more than 14.36 billion on alternative source of electricity for rural area across the federation in 2024, the federal government proposed to spend 1.3 trillion to deepen its effort in 2025. The Rural Electrification Agency will handle the project under the Ministry of Power. This is as the error which the Economic and the Financial Crimes Commission, in probing for 12.7 billion fraud, has failed to connect hundreds of community to the national grid.
Imagine the amount they spent last year
And the
on
amount,
this electricity power supply, and now they are telling us that despite the money they spend, there is nothing to show for, and you still want to spend more on it.
it's not all about did you get the last one, 12.7, that is being on a probe, that is being investigation over a fraud, like the past.
The painful part there is that, do you know that this light, this power supply that they did, they borrowed loan for it. They borrowed for loan last year for it, and they said they sent some people to this northern part of Nigeria to go and do the light and all, and now there's nothing to show for it.
Well, this particular issue about light and everything is something we've been facing for it's more than centuries.
Is like
Been
since
having
between
since when
the
Nigeria
long.
has gained its independence, we've always been suffering from this light issue. 14 billion naira is actually a huge amount of money for us to fix whatever
That's going on in
is
the
going on in the power sector. I believe 14 billion naira can actually fix the whole nation's power problem.
Exactly.
If this money is really accounted for and being used for the particular
Project.
14 billion is even too much.
It's too
I tell
much
you
for
10
it.
billion, 10 billion, 15 billion, 10 billion alone sef can fix all this. If you want to make a fraud of 4 billion naira and you are doing what we if the nation is not in blackout, we having light steady, we there's nothing like there's particular area that does not have light, this area has light, and you are defrauding us, we will not be complaining. You
Yeah.
are defrauding us and we are not saying
You will not
Yeah,
even
no,
know that you are defrauding
the
us.
particular thing. That's why I will always account for good luck Ebele Jonathan's tenure, because then people were complaining about this one embezzling money, this one is stealing money. Then we are seeing
What they were
effect-
using it to
the
do.
You know
effect of
what was
money.
being done then is that he was actually inconsiderate of what Nigeria. I don't think that those sets that is actually seated now have the human empathy in them that they wanted to actually serve Nigeria. They are just there because they feel like they have already invested so many years in the Nigerian politics, and then they wanted to invest their own part this time around. That's what I think they are doing.
That's what definitely we are doing.
Exactly. Let's move on. Federal government seeks stronger US ties amidst Trump deportation threats. The federal government has congratulated Donald Trump on his inauguration as the 47th President of the United States of America. The message was conveyed in a statement issued by the spokesperson of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Kimi B. Abefeba. On Tuesday, Nigerians stressed the strong and history ties between the two nations, highlighting their shared cooperation in areas such as the promotion of the good governance, sustainable development, and the fight against terrorism and violence extremes.
Uh, uh, Donald Trump, I also want to congratulate Donald Trump for his inauguration. It's since Donald Trump has entered that
Wow.
position, so many people are, I tell you, they are afraid. You know,
Their
when
mind no go touch ground.
Yes, even if I'm not in, they are definitely not
And
investing.
because they know that what they have been doing is wrong.
our government needs to have a good relationship with the United States.
Is it now they want to have good relationship with the United States?
If they don't have that good relationship with the United States, I think we will fall a very big victim, because
Yeah, we are victims.
we,
It's not that
we,
we
we
fall.
depend a lot on the federal on the United States. We collect arm from them. Most of our relationship are with them. When it comes to dollar rate and everything, we always
with
try
them
to
also.
do everything that makes them happy. Donald Trump, during his immigration, came out and said so many immigrants
We
Yeah.
set
flush
back.
out of this
Yeah.
country. He talked about
That's right.
birthright and everything. That
No longer LGB.
there's nothing like you leave your country and come to the United States, come and give birth, and your child will be given that citizenship. He has cancelled so many things, and so many even I saw a message from the bishop of the United States yesterday. It was like he was pleading to Donald Trump that so many people are really in fear now. He said those people working as factory workers, those working as cleaners, those working at all these menial jobs, most of them are not, they are not citizens. If you do these things to them, it really affects the
A
country,
lot of people.
because citizens of the United States can't say they want to below themselves and start washing plates in restaurants, doing factory jobs. They won't do
Yeah,
that.
and that's why I think some people will actually wanted to get their own passport at that moment so that it's not going to affect them.
But the
It's actually the illegals one that are
mhm.
staying illegally that is the one that is talking about. And then Nigeria even being at fear. I think Nigerians are in fears now because they know that Donald Trump is this kind of a person that he doesn't want it to take a no for an
As
answer.
a man
He
of his
just
word.
wanted to go into his word and that is it. Let's move on. Immigration arrest 19 foreigners for cybercrime in Rivers. The Rivers State Command of the Nigerian Immigration Service says its official has arrested 90 illegal immigrants for suspected cybercrime. The service says the suspect perpetrated the crime at different levels to swindle unexpecting Nigerians, saying the bulk of them are from Cameroon.
Well, it's for the case of cyber crime. It's an anthem in the country already.
Yes,
There's no way you go in part of the country, you won't see
a
probably a
fraud
young man or an adult
doing.
doing cyber crime. It has been rampant and viral in the country that almost everybody, when you're looking at someone, the first thing that will come to your mind, this person is into cyber crime and everything. And now
That
that
is not
now
supposed to
that
be
foreigners have
assumption.
now
They
have
came
now
from
decided
Cameroon, all the way from Cameroon
now
down
that
to
foreigners have now
Nigeria.
decided that okay, they can leave their country and come to Nigeria here and have this crime, because now they feel that we don't have a good database. We
Yes,
can't trace them anywhere except to know where they are. There's a particular information that
that
leads to
led
them.
leads to
You
them.
can't really track. You can't come to Nigeria and say you want to track one kind of person. You can go to a rural area and stay there for 10 years. Government will know that you are there. So they believe they can come here and hide themselves and do all those
Do
things.
what they like.
But kudos to the immigrations, 19 foreigners. Yeah,
Yes.
it's a lot.
Let's move on. Tinubu promises fairness as Ogoni oil exploration plans resumes. Federal President Bola Tinubu, in a call for unity and collaboration, urged the people of Ogoni land to embrace mutual trust, expand constitution, and work together to bring peace, development, and environmental restoration to the region. Tinubu says his administration would prioritize peace, justice, and sustainable development in the area.
It's a good one for the president to call the Ogoni land
Ogoni.
for peace, because we've had so many issues in the past with these people when it comes to oil theft and oil exploration.
Yeah.
And because if you don't really have a good relationship with the Ogoni people,
We have
Nigeria
problem. Oh.
the Nigerian oil sector is going to have a very big problem, I
Yeah.
tell you. Because these people they can do and undo. We know what Goodluck Jonathan faced during his own time with
Exactly.
these people, and now that they've come down, so many of them were even given amnesty. Then they've really calmed down. They don't fight again, because anything concerning oil money, it can be bloody, I tell you.
Exactly. You know what they call oil
It
money?
can be bloody.
It's like it's flowing, and then
Yeah.
their region is like something that has it a lot, and
No,
then
they are blessed with it. They can
exactly,
never join in their land, because it's their land. That is actually where the first crude oil was actually discovered in
discovered.
Nigeria. So
Well, it's let's make you good use of it then. Today from Vanguard, the top story from Vanguard. Ogun government rewards math teacher with 5 million naira house for global teachers prize pit. The governor Dapo Abiodun of Ogun State has announced a reward of 5 million and a bungalow for Kayode Adewole, an award-winning math teacher who was recently shortlisted for a $1 million Global Teachers Prize. Adewale, who blend the use of technology to teach the subject in local language at Imabong Imaka Comprehensive High School, Imabong, Ogun State, was named among the top 50 finalists for the prestigious prize.
wow, it's a good one, I tell you. For the governor of Ogun State to actually look into education
Recognizing.
and see that okay, we can recognize people. I think this step will actually boost other teachers and
Teachers.
morale to want to do good
Mm.
also, because for you to blend mathematics and technology at the same time, it's
Mathematics itself is not easy.
I think I think that's very hard for him to do, and mixing technology, teaching mathematics with technology at
With
the same time,
technology and then the
it's
local
yeah.
language blended it with it. I don't know why he has to be shortlisted of the Teachers Award, but I think the governor of Ogun State actually did the right thing to give him the sum of 5 million and the house as well. That is kudos to the governors
Yeah,
of the Ogun State.
I always tell people the main reason why some people find it hard to understand mathematics is because when you teach maths in an English language where people are not really, you don't really understand that word English already, and you're trying to use English
Add
to teach
English to
them
it.
maths again. I don't think they understand. Now, if you use
Yes,
your own local
Yeah.
language to teach them that maths, I believe they should be able to understand it, and
exactly.
that's why you actually do that.
It's a good
That's yeah.
one. Let's move on. I will show evidence. I am a woman. Bobrisky react to Trump two genders order. The popular Nigerian crossdresser Idris Okuneye, widely known as Bobrisky, has reacted to United States President Donald Trump recent order recognizing only two gender, male and female. The policy, part of a series of executive orders signed by Trump on the first day back in office, seeks to establish the recognition of only two gender across all US government policies.
Well,
That's what Whiskey said.
this is actually the best thing I believe Donald Trump has actually done
Done.
when he entered, because the US alone has actually, in fact, they are the cause of the reason why most nations see that other gender as gay and lesbian. US are the most parties. If you go to US, gay and lesbian are most parties in
The
the US.
US is no longer the leading role now. Let me say Thailand now is preparing a thousands of same-sex wedding on the same day, like 100. You can imagine that.
No, that is even, because me, I believe all this is started from the US first. Most of those in Thailand now got that experience from US. They feel that this thing is rampant everywhere. They can do it, and the government feel they can. Now that Donald Trump has entered into this now and said, okay, oh, this is cancelled. I believe so many people will now come back to their senses and know that this is what they should do, and
Exactly.
this is
I
what
don't
they should
think
do.
Or they
Bobrisky
should leave
has anything
the
to
state.
say
But whiskey,
because
I no,
he doesn't. She doesn't.
but basically, I don't think he even
Can't
has
even
much.
identify.
He has
Is
he or
she?
she doesn't have
Is
much to say,
she?
because I believe he as he or she is, is he definitely
She
he or
has
she is
no
coming back
power.
to
She's coming
he or
back.
she is coming back to the country.
Like I was thinking that those whole thing from Nigeria and then she migrated to US and then it's not even favoring her at all. He, she, or whatever. I can
But
identify.
basically can't come back to this country without being arrested. I don't think
No, she just
I don't
went
think the
for
best
she
thing for
went for
Bobrisky.
vacation there. You know, she was arrested. She
She
was
ran.
arrested.
Bobrisky didn't go
So
for Bobrisky
she
didn't go
said
for
she went
vacation.
for vacation.
Bobrisky said
She
I have
ran.
relocated to
Not
the US.
Now she's coming back to
she ran away.
where she run away
Bobrisky
from
won't come back
before.
to this country. I believe
Who's
Bobrisky will run to another country that will favor.
yeah.
Exactly. That will favor her.
The London is dead. We'll actually run to London, run to other country, but the US it's a no-go area for now.
Exactly. Let's move on. Federal government alerts Nigerians over outbreak of anthrax in Zamfara. Abuja. The Federal Ministry of Livestock Development yesterday alerted Nigeria over the outbreak of anthrax in Zamfara State. The Director Information and Public Relations Department of the ministry, Ben Beng Ogon, who disclosed this in a statement, says the Federal Ministry of Livestock Development wishes to officially notify the public of the confirmed outbreak of anthrax in a farm in Zamfara State. This development called for heightened vigilance and proactive measures to mitigate the risk associated with the disease.
So I think we need to be very vigilant when it comes
Yes,
to anything,
livestock.
Disease
any
from the farm
outbreak,
animal.
because if we don't treat an outbreak while it's newly out, it spreads a lot, and
It's not
It's going
easy.
to be
if people are
affected.
not familiar with what they are going through, it spreads like Antoine, I think Antoine is a kind of a disease where that
Anthrax.
affects most livestock like cow, goat, and
Yes, and it says it affects human as
yeah.
well.
And if a disease stays in a livestock body, definitely it can stay in anybody's body. So you always want to stay in something that lives,
Yes,
something that can breathe, that can do
blood,
things.
warm blooded.
Because
So
it's very easy. Most of us now that we have dogs in the house, we have cats. When if those diseases now get into the dog or cat body, it's movies from another person.
to
If it enters
yours,
an human being body, you hug this person. It's movies like that before you know it gets rampant.
it needs to be
I
prevented
think
there
the government really
immediately.
needs to look into it now that
It's already
uh,
on the news. Let's move on. Crumbling opposition. Politicians disagree on defection. Some politicians have disagreed on the reason opposition parties appear to crumble after general election as political leaders defect to the ruling parties. While many stakeholders frown at the situation and attribute such exodus to selfish interest and lack of respect for party ideology and philosophy, some say defection were justifiable if politicians were unjustly treated and needed to move to actualize their political aspiration. Well, I think Nigerian politics needed a whole lot of learning and understanding. I don't know if that's kind of the people that is being put there in the seats because some of them you can even see that those people they can't even read and understand some things. While those that can actually handle it were not given the chance to do that. We are both on the let me say tribal and then politics and religious understanding. We are not actually ready for Nigeria to move on. If they are already feeling that the opposition are crumbling because they feel that they fail, how would they actually hold those that are already on the seat accountable for what they are doing right now? Is what I'm thinking about. You
see,
can't focus on the opposition that have already failed. It's this one that are already on the seat that you have to focus on and hold them accountable for whatever they are doing.
Nigeria is a country whereby if you study microbiology in school, you can be a president. You study music in school, you can be a governor. See, most of them don't really understand this fact that okay, you need to go through a normal process. See, there's a course in school where all these people need to study first. There's political science. None of them didn't go through that course at all. They just believe that because they have this money, they can
They
actually
have
hire
Provide the
connection.
results and
they
all.
can hire a PA that has that knowledge to
An
tell them an
advisor.
advisor to tell them what to do. And once the advisor still tell them what to do, there will be someone that will still have to give them a second thought towards. They'll now feel like okay, this thing I need to benefit from this before I do. Most of them don't have that knowledge of how to run a political a position. They just dive into it just because of the selfish
Directly
interest.
because of the selfish interest there. And then when we talk about that, I think the educational sector probably has something to do with most of what is because there are so many studies that needed to go on in the school. Let's talk about the religious because some people can actually study religious in school, but some people will just wake up from nowhere and then be like, "I'm being called by God." You don't even know how to even read the Bible very well. Let's
See, most of them is after they make their money, they will say they want to go back to
To
school to
school.
learn. See, even though if after making your money, sef, if you say you want to go back, you can't learn what others that went to school or their first year, second year, third year will learn. They just go there, buy the result, and they're out.
Yeah.
well. Thank you for joining us today on the Global Entertainment News. I've been your host, Bella, and be sure